Yes, I know, it's been a while since I did a video. Reason being is I'm trying to coordinate things so that I can get the video I want to do before I do some other videos to get done. I know most of you had seen the, or some of you had seen the video, the little Skype, little audio show that I did with Moral Virus. And of course it went down. A lot of people wondering why it went down. Apparently Jared made the video a little too professional looking, and so it got taken down for copyright reasons. But don't worry, we still plan on doing that. We're still trying to, as you can tell from the audio, we're still trying to work it out, as we are on two totally different sides of the country. Literally, I'm down in Texas, he's up in New York, so it makes it a little difficult. But that's not the project I'm talking about. I have another thing that I want to do before I get into some other videos I want to do about some things that I feel like talking about. But anyways, what this video is about is, for those of you that don't know, the WWE does a little thing on their website. It's the list, basically. And what it is them going down and talking about, they make lists of different things, basically top 10 lists. And the last one they did, which they didn't promote very heavily, and after seeing the list, I know why, was the best tag teams ever. So I'm going to read down their best tag teams ever, and I have a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself and see this beautiful list that they put together. This has to be one of the worst lists they may have ever put, that I've ever seen, because this was bad. This was just, I can't believe some of the teams that are on here, and some of the definitely a lot of the teams that were left off. But anyways, they start off with 10, the British Bulldogs. British Bulldogs definitely should be in the top 10 tag team, in my opinion, for various reasons. They weren't just big here in the States, they were also big in Japan. Not as big as maybe the Road Warriors or the Steiners, but still pretty, or the Funks, or any number of other tag teams, but they were still pretty big. So I would definitely, top 10 list would be my top 10 list, and are in my top 10 list. So there you go. Next we have the Rockers. Odd choice there. I wouldn't exactly put the Rockers in there. However, I would, depending on who else was on the list, because if you had other certain teams on the list, I think having the Rockers on there would make some sense. Next, I have a big problem with this, not because if they're in the top 10, because it definitely should be in the top 10, but the fact that they're number 8, and that is the Wild Samoans. The Wild Samoans definitely should be number 2, maybe number 1. I'm not personally wouldn't put them in number 1, but there are people that would definitely argue that they are the best tag team anyone has ever seen. So I wouldn't put them at that, but I definitely don't think they should be 8. I think it's kind of stupid. Next we had Harlem Heat. I don't have any problems with Harlem Heat being on a top 10 list. I wouldn't put them on a top 10 list myself. I don't have any problem with that. Number 6, this one I have a problem with, and that is Demolition. I wouldn't put Demolition. I might put Demolition in a top 20, maybe a top 25, but I definitely wouldn't put them in a top 10 list, because all they are Road Warriors ripoff, and they weren't even as good as the Road Warriors, so, or even close. Number 5 is Fabulous Freebirds, definitely in the top 10. Your classic Southern tag team, without a doubt. With the exception of a few other teams, this is what a Southern tag team is, so no problem there. Then we have Edge and Christian. No, sorry. Shouldn't be on this list. I like Edge and Christian, but they shouldn't be on this list. Next we have the Hart Foundation. I know the Canadians are getting upset. They shouldn't be on this list either. Top 20, definitely. Top 10, no. Number 2, the Hardys. Sorry, they shouldn't be on this list either. So basically, you have, of the top 5, there are 3 tag teams I would not put on this list. That right there should tell you something. If anyone looks at this objectively, they will see that. There's no reason why those teams should be on this list. And number 1, with I think everybody pretty much knows, the Road Warriors. That's a pretty no-brainer in my opinion. So what would I have put on this list? Well, let me go down and let me tell you what I would have put on this list myself. Number 10, I would have put the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. I would have put them above the Briscoes and the Funks and any number of other teams that you could throw in there from the 70s and earlier. Simply because I always liked them the best, and going back. And then we're talking about the original Andersons here. We're not talking about Arn. Though without the original grouping, you would never have gotten Arn and through that everything else that happened. So I do think they're historically important tag teams. So I do think they should be in the top 10. So there we go. At number 9, the Fabulous Freebirds. As I said before, pretty much the definition of what a Southern tag team, heel tag team, should be. And definitely, in my opinion, should be on this list. The British Bulldogs, already talked about the British Bulldogs. Again, I put them at 8. Another tag team I just love to watch. That's the type of tag team wrestling I like to see. Number 7. This was not on their list. Why this was not on their list, I don't know. This shows that whoever made this list definitely doesn't know anything about wrestling history, in my opinion. So there we go, and that would be the Fantastics. Yeah, most of you probably never heard of the Fantastics. Most of you probably don't know who the Fantastics are. But basically, without the Fantastics, in my opinion, you don't have the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, at least as popular as they got without the Fantastics, because the Fantastics were, you know, two smaller guys that could go out there, do a lot of things, and what we see as tag team today, in a lot of respects, was because of the Fantastics. So there we go. Number 6, we're going way back. The Fabulous Kangaroos, who most of you probably don't know who they are. This tag team probably back in the 50s, early 60s, defined what tag team wrestling is. In a lot of ways, a lot of people would argue, created tag team wrestling. Without them, tag team wrestling would not have become popular, and we probably wouldn't have tag team wrestling today. So I definitely think they should be in a top 10 list. I'd put them at number 6. Number 5, the Midnight Express. Number 4 is the Rock and Roll Express. Both of those, you could switch both of those teams without, again, those are the two tag teams that pretty much showed the blueprint of what we think of a tag team wrestling match today. Without a doubt, two tag teams that were amazing. You don't have the Rockers, you don't have Edge and Christian, you don't have the Hardy Boys. Without those guys, and numerous other tag teams either, so they definitely deserve to be on this list. Number 3, the Steiner Brothers. Maybe the only other American tag team. Maybe number 2 as far as popularity in Japan behind the Road Warriors. You might be able to throw the Funks in there, but I would definitely say the Steiners deserve to be on that list. Why they were left off the WWE list, I have no clue whatsoever, because without a doubt, just a great tag team if you've ever seen any of their great matches. Number 2, the Wild Samoans, which I talked about. Without a, you know, everybody pretty much knows the story about the Wild Samoans, not just because of what they've meant to wrestling, but because they were that good, and they were the forerunners of the Road Warriors in a lot of ways. And of course, number 1, the Road Warriors. That's my list. Now, I don't know who made this WWE list, because this WWE list is absolutely crap in my opinion, and somebody should be, you know, severely beaten for this list. This list sucks. I would think anyone with some sort of sense would know, you know, if you didn't have a top 10, you gotta have the Midnight Rock and Roll Express on there. Might not have the Fantastics, might not have the Kangaroos, but come on. I mean, this list was horrible. Anyways, that's this video. Hope you guys liked. Discuss, by all means. That's what lists like this are for, is for people to discuss and give their opinions, and definitely look back on the history of pro wrestling as well. That's another reason why you do lists like this. So anyways, I'm out. Have a good one. Later.